Today we're going to start by reviewing the 8 problems you had to do for homework yesterday. So the first couple of problems you were to find the degree of each monomial. So for each of these monomials, we're going to take a look at their exponents. So for the first one, we have b to the 8th and c to the 2nd. We're going to add their exponents. Number 1 has a degree of 10. In problem 2, we have a constant, -3. All constants have a degree of 0. In the third problem, you can see that we have a variable y raised to the 3rd power, but z is raised to that 1 power. So keeping in mind that that 1 is there, you need to add those exponents and get 3 plus 1, which is 4. So for number 3, the degree is 4. Beginning with problem 4, you were to rewrite the expression in standard form, and then you were to name the degree and number of terms. So in number 4, I can tell that this one is not in standard form, and the reason why it's not is because we have an exponent of 1 here, but an exponent of 2 here. Standard form requires us to have all the exponents in order from the greatest to the least. So I'm just going to flip-flop these 2 terms, and now it's in standard form. Because there are 2 terms, that is automatically a binomial, and because the exponent is a 2, we call that a quadratic. Number 5, would this be in standard form? You're right, it's not, because we have c to the 1 power, c to the 3rd, and c to the 7th. So we need to do some rearranging there. To be in standard form, we would have -3c to the 7th plus 8c to the 3rd plus c. Now that it's in standard form, I can count the number of terms. There are 3, so that's a trinomial. And because this leading term has a exponent of 7, we can call that multinomial or 7th degree. For number 6, this one actually has 2 terms that are alike, so we can combine these 2 before we put it in standard form. So if I combine those 2, that's -7x to the 2nd power minus 4x plus 4. Now it is in standard form because these are all from the greatest to the least as far as powers. There are 3 terms, so it's a trinomial, and because this is a 2, it's a quadratic. The last 2 problems have you simply just adding 2 polynomials together. You can keep them in vertical position like they are because it's quite easy then just to add them down. These are like terms, so that's 13w minus 3, and number 8 would be 7k squared plus 2k minus 4. Keeping in mind when you add terms, you keep like terms the same, like here. We're not multiplying here, so you don't add them, we're adding. Okay? Now that we're complete with the warm-up, we're going to go on to today's lesson, which is 8-2. Now you may either take notes in your notebook like I'm going to do today, or if you'd like to print the note sheet, that is also on Google Classroom. It looks like this. You can print it out, and we're going to cover all this information here, as well as do some of the problems at the bottom. So if you don't have a printer, it's fine just to follow along with me, just like we're doing. So 8-2 is on multiplying and factoring. So today we're only going to be multiplying monomials times polynomials. As you can see from my red arrows here, you're probably like, oh, we're going to do the distributive property, and you are correct. So if I take that monomial, 3x, and multiply it times each term in parentheses, I'm going to get 6x to the 3rd power plus 3x times 4x is 12x squared. Keeping in mind when you multiply terms, you add their exponents, and 3x times -1 is -3x. There are no like terms here, so that would be my final answer. Now we're going to do a couple together. So problem 1, which you'll see at the bottom of that note sheet as well if you printed it, is 4x times 2x minus 7. So once again, we are going to apply distributive property and multiply that 4x times everything in parentheses. So 4 times 2 is 8, x times x gives me x squared minus 4x minus 7, 4x times -7 is 28x. Done. For number 2, you're going to take 3y and multiply it times 3y and also to positive 4. So that's going to give us 9y squared plus 12y. So if you've done okay here, your homework then is going to be to complete those problems that are on the note sheet, numbers 3 through 9, for tomorrow. Now you don't have to print the note sheet. You can simply look off of the note sheet and copy the problems just like I did in your notebook and complete them for tomorrow. And that's where we'll begin tomorrow. So I'll see you later.